In our Sunrise Smart Start, the suspected gunman of the murder of Rochester police officer Tony Mazurkiewicz is scheduled to appear in court today.
21-year-old Kelvin Vickers Jr. of Massachusetts is charged with second-degree murder, attempted murder in the second degree, and 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon. Currently, he is being held in the Monroe County Jail with no bail.
And Governor Kathy Hochul offering her condolences after the death of Officer Mazurkiewicz at a conference with police chiefs across the state. Hochul saying she feels for officers that put their lives on the line day in and day out, offering support for those currently dealing with this tragedy.
And a call for action, solutions, and love. That's what leaders from Uniting and Healing Through Hope of Monroe County say they are doing by bringing faith leaders, law enforcement, and residents together, demanding a stop to violence across the city of Rochester. This all following the death of 29-year Rochester police veteran Tony Mazurkiewicz, killed in the line of duty last week, as well as the 44 homicides to date this year in Rochester so far. They say that number is unacceptable, and it's past the point of talk. They say there needs to be action.
The detention hearing for the man accused of attacking Congressman and gubernatorial candidate Lee Zeldin has been pushed back. David Yacobinis of Fairport was originally scheduled to appear in court today, but it has been moved to tomorrow at 10 a.m. Yacobinis is charged with assaulting a member of Congress using a dangerous weapon, which has a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison.
And the New York State Sheriff's Association is launching a new mental health program for members.
Officers from across the state can come forward whenever they need help or support, choosing from a multitude of professional services. Eriquetta Koss joining us live at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office this morning with more. Eriquetta.
That's right. The program went live earlier this month, and what's great about this is he says first responders from all over the state can tap into these resources. The president of the Sheriff's Association says he wants to specifically focus on sheriffs themselves coming forward. Thomas Doherty, also Livingston County Sheriff and president of the association, says they received a grant through AT&T FirstNet for this new website. This will allow various leaders in sheriff's offices to be trained on mental health awareness, how to recognize trauma, types of trauma, and other stressors members might be experiencing. For a long time, Doherty says the law enforcement community has strayed from the topic of mental health. These services are, he says, in a way, retraining officers, teaching them it's okay to ask for help.
There's a lot of cops that feel that I'll lose my badge, I'll lose my gun, I got to support my family, so I got to be strong, I got to be silent. But when you're off duty, our cops need the ability to decompress, making sure that they understand that, so when they do come forward, they're not judged and instead they're supported.
And when talking about officer wellness, it's hard not to mention the tragedy from a few days ago, the death of Anthony Mazurkiewicz from the Rochester Police Department, shot and killed alongside his partner, who did survive his injuries. Doherty says while he didn't know those officers, whenever there's a tragedy like this, it is a very tragic effect on the law enforcement community for a long time. In Rochester, Eriquetta Koss, News 8.
A timely and important topic there, Eriquetta. Thank you. Earlier this year, Rochester Police launching a similar program for their department.
That's right. An officer takes an assessment on an app and is immediately connected to another trained officer for assistance tailored to their specific needs. And a Hilton mother describing how she fought back as a man was stealing her car while at a bottle and can redemption center in the town of Parma on Friday. I spoke with Annie Pelletier yesterday, who explained she was waiting for her 16-year-old son to come out of the store when she saw a man approaching her car. The man then jumped in her car and a struggle ensued. Annie says she held on as long as she could, and then eventually she had to let go. Pelletier went to the hospital for her injuries but returned home that night. She says she's grateful her kids weren't in the car. As for the suspects, Monroe County Sheriff's Office says the driver escaped, but the passenger has been taken into custody. 30-year-old Luis Ocasio now charged with 3 counts of second-degree robbery.
All right, shifting gears now, James. 60 degrees, perfect morning for a bike ride.
Yeah, I think so. Whether it's a casual ride into work or getting a little bit of exercise, this morning. All across the region, we've got dry roads, comfortable, a couple of degrees warmer than we were with our chilly 50-degree start yesterday. Temperatures will cruise right into the 70s, and we've even got many in the middle 80s this afternoon. Maybe we're going out tonight. Numbers slowly falling through the 70s. We've got a warmer night tonight ahead of some rain showers possible. We'll take a last look at the 8-day at the end of the show. Allie, how are the roads looking?
All right, roads are looking good out there, James. No accidents to report. 390, 490, and 590 running on time. Of course, we'll keep you updated through CBS Mornings throughout the morning.
And a $30 million affordable housing project in Rochester's Inner Loop is now complete. The development located at 270 East Avenue, offering more than 100 apartments and a community gym. People responsible for the project, as well as state and local officials, coming to celebrate the project.
Turning to some national news now. Record rain amounts in St. Louis yesterday. Streets turning into lakes. At least one person was killed as fire and emergency crews have rescued more than 100 people from their vehicles and homes from rising flood water. Evacuees wading through waist-deep water with their pets hitching rides with rescue crews. Torrential rain adding up to 10 inches of water in some areas, causing widespread flash flooding. And officials say the threat not over yet. 4 more inches of rain is expected, which would lead to more flooding and damaged homes.
And former President Donald Trump and former Vice President Mike Pence in Washington campaigning separately. This is the first time since he left office that Trump has been in Washington, blaming Democrats for crime rates, gas prices, and an increase in migrants coming from the southern border. The visit coming as the former president says he is considering another run for the White House. Pence also in town looking to prepare for a 2024 campaign of his own. And the cost to borrow is about to go up now.
In an effort to tame surging inflation today, the Federal Reserve is expected to announce new higher interest rates. Our DC's Raquel Martin has more.
Wednesday, the Federal Reserve is expected to spike interest rates yet again in an attempt to slow record high inflation, squeezing the pockets of millions of Americans.
Inflation is challenging.
Tuesday, top White House economist Brian Deese acknowledged the task at hand is a difficult one. He says while the Federal Reserve works on its strategy, the administration is looking for other ways to help reduce consumer costs.
As the Fed operates and takes the steps that it will take, we have identified a set of very clear steps that we could take and that we could take working with Congress.
But Senate Republicans say they fear the Biden administration's approach could add more fuel to the fire.
I think there's a real sense that this out-of-control economy is about to go over a cliff.
Tuesday, Missouri Republican Senator Roy Blunt said the administration continues to ignore warning signs.
What they've been doing won't work. More of the same. More tax and spend will make this problem worse, not better. Before we go off the cliff, it's time to pump the brakes.
The administration says right now they're looking for ways to cut back, not add to the problem. They're urging Democrats and Republicans to pass a bill to reduce prescription drug costs.
Raquel, thank you. That plan under consideration would allow the federal government to negotiate drug prices for Medicare recipients, something the White House says could help the overall economy.
In the meantime, the Federal Reserve will continue its own course of action. The chairman will speak today at 2 p.m.
Well, here's what some people might be talking about at the water cooler this morning. Take a look at this. Nimbus releasing a new electric vehicle. Though it may be a bit different than others, it's not a car and it's not a motorcycle. It's the 3-wheeled pod. The founder of Nimbus says the compact design is to help ease the headaches of parking and traffic congestion for people in urban areas. The pod features 2 removable batteries that can be charged at home or with an EV plug, and each charge getting you about 93 miles. The pod can hold up to 2 people, travels up to 50 miles per hour, and it tilts when you turn. Look at that thing. That is the future of transportation in a way in cities. I mean, I would take that thing around New York City and just kind of slide into a zone.
You can go all the way to Buffalo from here in that thing. Only at 50 miles an hour, though. It'll probably take you a little bit longer.
Yeah, what road would you go on? It's Route 65.
Just on the side.
Oh, gosh, yeah. interesting ride there. Temperatures today get into the middle 80s. Should be a nice afternoon for you. Get out there and enjoy it if you can. Last look at the 8-day forecast here. Just a shower or two overnight. Morning shower possible Thursday. And then we look great. Saturday and Sunday still shaping up to be a fantastic weekend to finish off the month.
All right, James, thank you so much for watching News 8 at Sunrise.
Our next update is coming up in 30 minutes. The CBS Mornings is coming up.